What if Weiss was a faunus and Blake's sister? Part 4. As they started wandering through the snow. Again, why are we heading towards the mountains? Mary, I already told you we have some business. Business or some enemies, you mean? As she wears, the white fang mask. Why do you still wear that thing, Mary? At this point, just call me Moffy as usual. Stop talking about my real name when we're out in public around people. I'm an undercover person, you know that. Well, finally I can call you Moffy again. It seems like you two are having fun. As Leo speaks up. Well, calm down, y'all. What exactly are we going to be dealing with? So why are we out here? We're supposed to get rid of a few nuisances that are in my way. A few nuisances? Yeah, I may or may not have Salem sending a few of her goons after me. As Weiss is like, Salem? Oh, you must not know of Salem, Leo speaks up. Salem is the person that created the Grimm and all that. I still have no idea how you managed to anger Salem. As he's messing with his cheek, I may or may not have gotten some top secret information while I was in Salem's territory. Question. Leo asks a question. Were you a spy for Ozpin? As he scratches the back of his head. I'll take that as a yes. I don't know much about Salem. Get someone for me in. Weiss says. Salem is a person that controls all the Grimm. Basically makes them, essentially. That's all I really know. The Grimm have existed before who knows how long. Salem just has the power to control them. It's what I've got. I have no idea why, though. And we're heading this direction. Why? To face her forces head on, obviously. Because now that I'm out of that prison, she's gonna want to stop me from trying to find Ozpin again. Hold up, I thought Ozpin died in the Battle's Beacon. Oh, there's some things I can't tell y'all. Alright, more secrets. Have it your way. You can't even tell a childhood friend, can you? Take it easy. After all, it's valuable information that could end stuff. I'll have to leave the group for a bit after this. But I'll meet y'all again. Very well. As then suddenly a burst of flames would be coming towards her group, as they would all jump back. As then Tyrene, I think the Scorpion's name is, I got no idea. Hazel, Mercury, and Cinder show up. So it looks like it's a 4v4. Hey, I have an idea. As Tyrene is about to jump at them. Hold up before y'all attack. Leo stands in front. As, what are you doing? Weiss says, how about this? As Leon goes forward, why don't we have a nice 1v1? All of us fights each other, but on a 1v1. What do you think? Cinder's team's like, why should we do that? Think it is this way. You get to prove your strength against us. And if we're such a weak group, y'all should be able to beat us up, right? As technically, he's right. As Tyrene is, doesn't matter as long as I get to kill some people. And as Hazel's a faunus, I think, doesn't really matter. He's okay with fighting on 1v1. Cinder looks a bit annoyed. Mercury's like, fine, but I'm taking the werewolf guy. As then they would start to split up. I guess I got the scorpion fellow. I'll take the big guy, Leo says. As Weiss looks at Cinder, I guess it's me and you. As we go to Moffy and Tyreen, as they go over to the ruin area. So you choose to fight in a ruined place like this? It should be interesting, should it not? As she flies in the air. As Tyreen shoots, his weapons towards Moffy. As she flies around, as she has two, weapons. I don't know how to describe those weapons. I do apologize. If you know the name, please tell me in the comment section. As she tries to get in and slashes Tyreen, as he uses the blades of the little scorpion things that he has to block, as he tries to use his tail to hit Mothra, as she evades, as she goes through the ruins, flying around, as Tyreen would just try to chase after her, going from one side to another, as he would then start firing at Moffy as she would go around the top before swinging back and kicking him, as he would grab her leg, as trying to pull her down, as she swings her little weapon towards his hand, as it collides with his tail just striking, both deflecting, as he tries to use his little hair tail to hit him, as she quickly moves and cuts his hair, as he jumps back. Oh, don't worry, this is going to be fun. As he starts to run towards her once again, as she keeps the air distance. He's obviously a close-range fighter. Better keep my distance. As he's currently flying around, or she's flying around, before coming in and just using both her weapons to try to slash. As they would pass through each other, as the side of Mothra's, belly would get cut, as she would look back, as Tyreen had a little cut on his shoulder, as he would lick his weapon, as he looks back and starts charging towards her once again, as she takes to the air, as he starts to fire once again. I was really hoping not to use my semblance. The moths sleep. As powder would fall down towards the ruin area where they're fighting. As he would be rushing it, as his eyes would get tired. And she would rush towards, Tyreen, as ready to hit him with his weapons, as she would swing down, as blood would be spilt. As, his shoulders had gotten hit by her weapons, but she had gotten stung in the back by his tail, as she would start falling, as then where suddenly she would get grabbed as another person goes flying by, as he looks over, as we cut to another scene, as we go to Leo and Hazel fighting. You ready, big guy? Bring it on. As he would rush towards him and they would throw fists, as Leo would punch him in the face, as then he would get punched in the face by Hazel, as then they would be trading blows, as he would use his shield as he decided to power up with dust crystals into his arms, as he would punch his shield, denting it just a little bit, as he would be sent back. Well, you packed quite a punch, as he just thrusts his claws forward to just try to cut him, as he cuts him a little bit, as he throws another hard punch, this time hitting him in the face, sending him flying into some rubble, as he would get out before spaying out some blood. Now this is a fight, as he rushes towards him again, as he would dodge the right punch that Hazel was throwing before getting an uppercut, cutting his chin a little with his claws, as then he would kick him in the stomach, which sent him back a little bit. Come on, that didn't finish you off, did it? As he would charge again to throw another punch towards Hazel, as he would then just stomp, as Leo would notice something, as he would quickly jump back, throw his shield, hitting him in the face, as then he would then get punched and thrown by Hazel. As Leo's on the edge of the mountain, he sees that Moffy is bleeding from the side. Okay, that's not good. As Hazel would rush to punch the ground where Leo is at, as he picks up his legs and tosses Hazel off the side, as he goes flying down, as he notices Mothra is falling, he jumps off the side and lands on Hazel's back as Hazel tries to grab him, as he simply kicks him down below before grabbing Mothra and holding onto a wall. So, you came to her rescue. As Leo looks at her back, poison. As then Leo would grab something from his pocket before pouring it on her back, which seemingly would stop the poison. What did you do? By the looks of it, that was an anti-poison vial. Yep, it stops the deadliest of poisons in their tracks. I learned it when I was in the faunus liberation force. Everyone at least had a few vials on hand, because we came across people that would use poison. So we always kept antidotes. Even being trapped in a mine, I managed to hide them away. As he tries to shoot at him, as he just simply uses his shield to block the shots, before climbing back up while holding Mothra. As he would get to the top, as Tyrene had gotten to the top as well. As he runs towards, Leo, as he simply just sets down Mothra to the side. Bring it! As then they would charge at each other, fists at the ready. As he would swing with his claws, cutting his clothes a little bit, as Scorpion tries to use his tail. He quickly swings his shield around, deflecting his tail before getting punched by his other fist, sending him back. As his nose is bleeding a little bit, as he simply licks it. Time to die. As then they would rush at each other once more. As we cut to Mercury and Jonathan. Alright, time to go down. As he would rush and throw several kicks at Jonathan. As he would lean his head left, right, dodging the kicks. As he would then please swing with his foot. As Mercury would jump over before kicking him in the side of the head. As he would then back off. As then he noticed that his attack was blocked by a hand. But not Jonathan's hand. As then a duplicate of him in a werewolf form would come out. Yeah, I guess I didn't really use him this much. Get him. As he would charge towards Mercury, as Mercury would do several shots and shoot with his little leg gauntlets. As it wouldn't really phase his semblance. As it would rush towards Mercury, as he would jump over it and hit him before rushing towards Jonathan. As he pulls out his little two daggers, as he starts to run towards Mercury. As he swings his dagger, he uses his leg to block it. As he tries to thrust it towards his stomach, and as his semblance tries to attack him from the back, he jumps and kicks him in the head, sending to where he's going to get hit by his own semblance. As then he smiles, as it just passes straight through him and cuts Mercury's leg a little bit. What? You didn't know I could turn my semblance in a little bit to go through me? Anyway, I don't think it's time to play around. It's gonna get dark here soon. As he knows the sun's already starting to set. But I don't need to waste it on you. As then he pulls out his sword, starts rushing towards, swinging. As Mercury's dodging left and right, throwing kicks, trying to hit him. As then Jonathan would just throw a punch, dropping his sword, causing Mercury to catch off guard. As his semblance would catch him before tossing him into some rubble. As he's left there unconscious. I thought you were going to put more of a fight than that. As, well, it's now to Weiss and Cinder. As we go towards Weiss. So, you're Cinder. Yes. Now surrender. She sends flames towards Weiss as she would summon her semblance knight to help her. as she would come out and help defeat as it charges towards Cinder, as she would use her firepower just to bounce over it and send fire towards the knight, as Weiss would take this chance to climb a tree and use her rapier, as it would touch her shoulder, as she would use ice dust as it would start to freeze. As she tries to send fire at her, as she uses her rapier to take the blow, as the swing of the hilt of the sword hits Cinder, sending her flying off. Why you, as she summons a huge fireball to send towards her, as the knight covers her, as when she opens her eyes, her, knight starts to disappear. As then suddenly a dagger would pierce the side of Cinder's shoulder, as she would look back, as Jonathan's done with her battle. Well, I guess it's time for me to deal with you. As Weiss would rush towards while Cinder was distracted, as then the moon would start to rise, as Jonathan would transform as his semblance goes into him, into a werewolf, as he rushes towards Cinder, as she sends a huge attack around herself like a fire ring, as Jonathan rushed through it, burning his fur as he punches Cinder right in the face, causing her to go flying, as while she's flying off, Weiss throws her rapier, going through her other shoulder, causing it to hit a nervous system to cause her shoulder to go limp. This is also the shoulder that has the grim arm. As she gets up, you'll pay for this. As then someone tries to come out and sting, Jonathan, but he cannot get through his fur, as then he just hits towards Cinder. I think it's time we go. As it's Tyrene, but he's heavily injured. As they just simply flee. As Jonathan looks back and sees Leo carrying Moffy. He ran away like a coward. As Weiss goes over, Leo, are you alright? As he has several wounds and all that. Yeah, but it seems like the poison did a number on Moffy here. As Jonathan goes to her, she's alive at least. If I added the antidote any later, she would have already died. Who was that guy? A poison expert. I managed to toss his comrade off a cliff. I don't think he's coming back from that. Anyway, I gotta take you home to the Belladonnas. No, we should wait here for a little bit until your wounds recover. I agree, we shouldn't move. But I'm gonna have to leave y'all. Why's that, Jonathan? I gotta get this information to Ozpin immediately. So I gotta leave. As he would leave. To disappear. As Weiss would stay with Moffy and Leo as they start to recover. About a month later, she would go back to the Belladonna family. As, of course, news of her being back spread around quite easily as a party and festival was thrown. As Leo had become head security for the Belladonna family, thanks to Weiss's information. And they started to help with faunuses and all that, and they started to reveal of what the Schnee Dust Company was doing to faunuses, public-wide, because Leo stole some intel from the main headquarters of the mine, which got released on scrolls and all that, which would cripple the Schnee Dust Company. And as for the head of the Schnee Dust Company, got arrested by Winter. As Weiss would meet Blake and her team, as everything would go back to normal. As Jonathan had given Oscar, all the information that he had gotten from Salem that was vital. Which, if he had gotten to it sooner, could have prevented a lot of other events. But unfortunately, because of his situation, he could not. Moffy became the new leader of the White Fang after Adam's defeat, and started to rebuild. Salem was defeated, and life goes back as usual for them. So make sure to like and subscribe for more. Hopefully y'all enjoyed What If Weiss was a faunus and Blake's sister. I know there wasn't that much interaction with Blake in this, but I do hope y'all enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe for more.